Hi, good afternoon, everybody. This is the second in a series of videos. This is for the group of people doing Unit 19, the analysis of sports performance. This is to introduce you to Task 2. Task 2 covers the criteria P3, M2, and D2, and also P4. So this is really quite important so that you can um, gain the best award that you wish for. So my videos today is just to help support you in doing that. So this task is all about making some kind of analysis which will focus on a player, a footballer, particularly a footballer in your position. That's the best way to do it so that you can mirror what you understand about the needs of a player in that position with what you see in front of you. Word of advice, it's probably best not to choose the best footballers in the world to analyse, your Ronaldos, your Messis. If you do this, you'll find very few weaknesses in their play, so you'll have very little to talk about, and particularly when you start to give some analysis of their overall strengths and areas for improvement, you're going to be a bit stuck. You'll just be talking about their strengths. And people here, we want to be looking at ways that you can support people and help them improve over time. So choose somebody a little bit more modest, somewhere maybe even who plays alongside you in your position, and you can make a very informed judgment of how it is that they play. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, several ways in which you can do analysis. You could have a series of clips which you show to your colleague and then talk about their play through the clips, a bit like how your coach might do. But also ways in which you can measure people's performance by having things like a performance wheel. I'll send you copies of a performance wheel where you rank people from 1 to 10 on a series of criteria which you decide on. And the criteria, let's say, for a tactical and technical aspect of assessment would be shooting, dribbling, passing, heading, making runs, moving into space, tracking back, formation in free kicks, formation on corner kicks, and playing through the thirds. And these are criteria which we will explain to you, and you put down, and you'll look at your player and you'll rate how they do that based on your score that you have from 1 to 10, 1 being not very good at all and 10 being excellent. And very few people are excellent. Everybody has something to learn, and this is what this project is all about. So this is what I'd like you to do. There are 3 areas that you're going to assess. One is a combined area, which is technical and tactical. And I think this is language that you already understand. And I'll send you a list of what I think you could use for the criteria. You can choose your own, of course. The second one is a physical and physiological, which will be to do with the player's fitness, a player's strength, player's speed, power, jumping ability, turning ability, agility, reaction time, the things that you would normally describe and discuss with your teammates and your coaches when you describe how physical somebody is and how fit they are for taking part in the game of football, and also for training for football, whether it's in the gym or in normal training sessions. So that's the second criteria. The third criteria is psychological criteria. So you'll find that there are lots of things you can discuss in psychology, and I know you've done the psychology unit in the past, and you may have even done a skills assessment of somebody to say how skillful they are psychologically in the game of football. But I'll give you a comprehensive list which you can use to make up your own criteria. And these include things like motivation, team play, cohesion, whether you are anxious, whether you get stressed, whether you can make decisions and decisions under pressure, And all these things are very critical in the analysis of somebody's personal performance. This is not about team performance. This is about a player, one player in your game, and you will put this together, and you will then imagine that you're going to say everything that you've written down to this other person. And that's where the next task comes in, and that's at least the P4 and the merit as well. So this piece of work that comes second is the feedback that you will give to your performer. And all performers want to see improvement. Even the best players in the world go training, and even the best players in the world have coaches. And the reason for that is that everybody's seeking to get better. The best golfers in the world go out and practice every day. They can't not, because they need to improve. So, and it always helps that somebody else is watching them and pointing out where they could make improvements to their game, whether it's technical, tactical, their psychological strengths, or whether it's to do with their physicality, and they need to work on certain aspects of their fitness or their power or strength. So the feedback section will be quite comprehensive, and I'll maybe make another video on just the feedback section, but suffice to say that once you've put together your training assessment of our playing assessment of your athlete, and you've broken it down to 3 separate areas, you're then going to present this to a person. You don't have to do it live, you don't have to do it real, but you have to write it down as if you're talking to a real person and giving them background advice on how they can improve their performance. So, thank you. Good luck with task 2 for Unit 19.